Hey guys, it's Horsey Steph, and today we are back with a brand new episode of Heartland. We just finished up season 1, episode 5, and so today we are going to start our reaction to season 1, episode 6, One Trick Pony. I'm super excited to see how this all goes. Last episode kind of closed everything up with some happy endings all around. So I'm very excited to see what kind of new drama they have in store, because we know that this show is not going to be able to stay away from the drama for long. If you guys could go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future videos, that would help me out a ton. And let's go ahead and jump on in and see how everything goes. I did not know they had farm animals. So that's a big shock to me. I don't know that they've always had these. I guess they have, because I think somewhere along the lines they mentioned something about geese at one point. We've just never seen them. And Lou seems so totally unprepared to have geese in her life. I mean, she's really not a farm girl anyway. She's really a city girl. It comes through, even if she grew up on a farm. So seeing her with geese is pretty darn funny. I can't judge. I'm terrified of geese, so I would be in there. What are they trying to accomplish, though? Oh God. Oh God, that's disgusting.
Okay, hold him.
Hold him! No way! Oh my god, you pooped on me.
Okay, this is hilarious. So, Lou is helping the vet with the geese, and I think he's giving them their vaccines. But there's nothing about her that is prepared to deal with geese, so she's just screaming, and now she's messy, and he pooped on her. It's pretty funny. I would probably be the same in this situation. I'm freaking terrified of geese. I wouldn't want to be in there because they scare me. And also gross. So on no level would that seem like a good idea to me. Alright, so some sort of oral something. I'm gonna go with probably not a vaccine. Can you do oral vaccines? I don't know. I know nothing about geese other than I don't like them and I stay away from them.
I would like to thank you for reminding me why I left you in the first place.
Absolutely. This is a great reminder why she left in the first place.
He doesn't stop when you pull him up. And he doesn't go forward when you kick him.
Alright, so now Amy is working with this new horse, Pirate. I don't think we've ever seen him before. And he's like a super quiet, easy, nice horse, but when you pull up the rein, he doesn't stop. When you kick, he doesn't go. I guess he just kind of wanders around and does his thing, and he doesn't neck rein. So definitely a horse that is shut down and doesn't have good training on him. So something clearly will take some time to correct. I like how they showed that little clip because she kind of pulled up and I think she closed her leg at the same time, because I could see when she picked her hand up, he did think about coming back and then he changed his mind. And then the other little trick they used is she didn't pull back, she pulled up, which doesn't make a huge difference on the horse's mouth. It's why I'm always yelling at my students, back from your elbows, because a lot of my students think that they can just lift their hands to stop, and it doesn't make a big difference to the horse. The horse doesn't even hardly notice that you've lifted your hand. So she kind of played on that trick to show this horse doesn't stop when you pull him up. And then when she kicked, she wasn't kicking. She was just kind of flapping her legs on his side, that desensitizing flap sort of thing. So, wasn't very clear leg pressure, and again, a good way of demonstrating that he doesn't go while also not giving him a real true aid that would get him to go, because I'm sure this horse is actually trained. He's driving awfully fast.
Oh my god, Carl!
Her boyfriend came to visit, unannounced. She really does care about him because she's so excited to see him. I am really surprised that he showed up. And I don't know what he's gonna say when he sees her covered in this goose filth. But I'm sure he's gonna be just horrified at the thought that she wants to run up and hug him, because I would be horrified. I would be absolutely horrified. And you know, I'm at the barn all the time dealing with mud and dirt, and I still hate it. This is like next level disgusting. Oh, it's so gross. So gross. I'm glad she's really happy though. Really glad. Oh, I feel bad for Scott. I mean, I still don't know for sure that Scott even knew she had a boyfriend in New York, but he really, really loves her, and seeing her with her actual boyfriend has to just remind him of the fact that, you know, he's not with her. And, you know, he's, I'm sure, hoping she'll break up with her boyfriend in New York, stay around, and get together with him. But with how excited she was to see her boyfriend, that doesn't seem super likely at the moment. Of course, things change, but it doesn't seem super likely at this very instant.
Why didn't you call?
Kidding me? And lose the element of surprise? Look at you. I would not have missed this for the world.
That is really romantic in a way. I mean, it would probably drive me nuts. I hate surprises, but it is kind of romantic to be like, just show up and surprise her and have her so excited to see you. I can see why somebody might want to do that, even though, like I said, it would probably piss me off, honestly.
I got a new job.
Chicago?
Yes.
Alright, so he came by to tell her in person that he is moving. Got a new job in Chicago. I feel like in a long distance relationship, that's maybe less important to keep your partner in communication about. However, she was living in New York for a long time, so I think he probably could have talked to her about the fact that he got this job in Chicago before he even took it. I feel like with the level of relationship they have, that should have been something he considered, not just taking it. But she has been living in Heartland for a long time, so perhaps he's kind of thinking, well, it doesn't even matter. You're not in New York anyway, so you won't care where I work and live. But that rubs me a little bit the wrong way. It seems a little bit like he's not thinking about her in their kind of long-term future plans.
Take a shower.
Yeah, I'm sure she smells terrible after playing with the geese. Not playing, but you know, messing around with the geese.
Staying for dinner?
Gotta have another appointment.
He was going to stay for dinner, but I'm imagining he decided against that because Lou's boyfriend showed up, so he's like, that will be really awkward. I think he probably wanted to stay for dinner primarily to spend more time with Lou. I mean, obviously he likes everyone in Heartland, but we know he has a special place in his heart for Lou. So having her boyfriend there would just make it way more awkward and way more like intrusive feeling than, you know, just dinner without the boyfriend that he has never seen and, you know, isn't normally around.
All the signs are totally there. Scott's in love with Lou, and he's secretly devastated about the arrival of the New Year's boyfriend.
How did she not know that? They've made that so obvious in this show, and Mallory picks up on everything. So how in the world did she not know that earlier? Because that's been a thing, honestly, since episode 1. I feel like they were hinting at it, but they've been hinting at it harder and harder and harder until now. So totally a thing.
This new job in Chicago, it wouldn't happen to be with Griffin Sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, how'd you know that?
Well, it's probably just a coincidence, but I got a letter in the mail from them asking me to take the position.
Alright, and mysteriously, she got a letter asking her to interview for a job at the same company that just hired him. So it makes me think that he probably orchestrated that and is trying to get her a job working at the same company he does to maybe bring her closer again, get her to move out to Chicago with him instead of staying at Heartland. So it does seem a little bit clingy and controlling. Definitely rubs me the wrong way. I'm not loving this guy, even though he is kind of romantic and sweet on the surface. I'm not loving that he seems a little manipulative and like he's not really communicating and taking her into account, which is really important to me in a relationship. But also just, you know, as a person, like, respect the other person, respect your friends, anyone you meet, and I'm not sure he really respects her.
Frankly, I don't really see it.
Yeah, nobody sees her as a farm girl. She isn't one.
It's like you got a bit of the mothership stuck to your ear.
Bit of the mothership stuck to your ear. That's great.
I figured since Ben's away to show, we could put him in here.
The room that butts right up against yours.
I'm surprised they wouldn't just put him in her room. I mean, the fact that her boyfriend's gonna stay in another room already seems crazy to me, and maybe that's like because they're kind of old-fashioned and I'm really not. But I mean, they've been together. I guess they didn't live together in New York, maybe. They probably didn't actually live together in New York, so that I guess makes a little more sense. But still, I'm surprised. I would just think he would stay in her room. So staying in the room next to her seems like a fine idea. I mean, let's be honest. These people are not nuns. They are definitely not waiting for marriage. So let's move on from that idea and not pretend it's the case.
Got your boyfriend my room?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Okay, so apparently that was so offensive that they've decided to have him stay in the barn in Ty's room. That just makes no sense, none whatsoever, because now Ty, that is there, has nowhere to be. And I can't imagine Carl staying in the barn in the first place. I mean, that's a little bit rustic for him. And I know it's like a bedroom and it's, you know, nice, but it is still a barn. And I don't see Carl lasting there. But I'm sure Jack thinks that's brilliant, because I don't think Jack likes Carl, just anything about him just from the get-go. So I'm sure Jack thinks this is brilliant, but what are they going to do about Ty? I mean, where is he supposed to stay since they're giving his room? Alright, so they have added a bed to Ty's room, and they're going to make Carl bunk with Ty. That's awful. That's really awful. I mean, Ben's not even there. Let him stay in Ben's room, because he'll be gone before Ben gets back. Yeah, that's special.
You have Wi-Fi here?
Nope. Downgrade to dial-up.
They still have dial-up? That is the most archaic, slow internet connection ever.
Trust me. You're sleeping over a barn full of horses. Internet connectivity is the least.
Yeah, accurate. He's not gonna last here long at all. He should honestly probably go find a hotel where he'll have some sort of like access to internet and whatnot, because working through dial-up is not gonna work for him. Frankly, I don't know how Lou made it through working through dial-up. Perhaps that's part of why she got fired, because I can't imagine she was productive at all. And, you know, he doesn't even have a phone in his room. Like, he's gonna have to go into the house to access the dial-up and answer his email. That's really bad. I couldn't live that way. I mean, we don't have cell service at our house, so we do have to do everything through internet at our house, but we at least have, like, satellite internet. It works. It's not dial-up. It can be bad, don't get me wrong. I complain about it all the time, but it is nothing like dial-up.
Saw a lot of oil wells, a lot of gas wells in the drive up here. Who knows? You're sitting on a gold mine here.
Well, this outfit's been in our family for 6 generations. We don't look on it as an investment property.
I'm not surprised that his first thought is there's so much oil in this area. Why have you not looked for oil on your land? You could be making so much money with the oil. And they value their ranch and their property. They don't want to destroy it looking for oil. And it's not really about the money. So I think from their point of view, they're like, there could be oil here, but we're not going to go look for it anyway, because it's not what we want. That would be like a last-ditch effort if they were really like gonna have to sell the farm and they were so broke. That's when they would start to consider oil.
Have you ever been around horses before?
Yeah, sure. When I was younger, my parents took me out to Dude Ranch every summer in Arizona.
Maybe you and Mallory could take Colin trail riding.
They're gonna take him on a trail ride. He's been to a dude ranch before. That sounds miserable.
No, but it's like riding a bicycle, right? What you learn, never forget.
That is accurate. Once you learn how to ride, you never forget. But going to a dude ranch as a kid is not the same as learning to ride, so he never actually learned. Therefore, he had nothing to forget in the first place.
Are you planning on going with him?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Not necessarily.
I'm glad Amy is finally speaking her mind. She made that snide comment about Lou going with Carl to live in Chicago at his new job, and when Lou was like, "You'd like that, wouldn't you?" She was like, "No, not really." I'm glad she's learning. That actually shows huge improvement, because the whole Ty situation all kind of started because she didn't say what she wanted. She made snide comments and then, you know, encouraged them to leave her, even though she didn't want them to leave at all. Good for her that we're making progress on that front.
4 boxes of cake mix.
Just the one. The others are for insurance in case the first one's a flop. When it comes to Grandpa's birthday cake, failure is not an option.
4 boxes of cake mix so that you can mess up 3 times and get 1 good birthday cake. That is spoken like somebody that does not bake very often, because it is not hard to make a box cake. Not hard at all. I feel bad for Ty that he has to stay with this guy who's gonna keep him up and interrupt his sleep and just his leisure time in his own bedroom. Taking phone calls and whatnot. Where is he running off to? Oh, to go see Lou, I'm sure. He's gonna go have a little rendezvous in her bedroom and be back, I'm sure. Oh, the goose. Why is the goose loose in the barn? For Jack to catch him trying to sneak into the house. Because Jack's gonna make sure he stays in that freaking barn, and the goose is probably there partly to make sure that happens. I think Ty thought about warning him and then decided not to, since he doesn't like the guy already.
The older you get, the lighter you sleep. Footsteps on the porch, and screen door slams.
There is no way that he is going to get in the house on this trip. Period. Not with Jack watching him and making sure that doesn't happen. I hope you guys enjoyed that first segment of Heartland Season 1, Episode 6. Certainly off to an interesting start. I never expected Carl to show up, so that's, I think, going to be kind of the tension in this episode. Carl trying to convince Lou to move to Chicago and generally just irritating everyone on the property. And meanwhile, also trying to convince them they could be making all this money on Heartland, kind of destroying the land for oil, which is also not going to rub off well on everyone. And then you have the whole Scott thing where he's in love with Lou and he's going to be kind of heartbroken about that. I mean, yeah, all plenty of drama. And of course we have Pirate, this rescue horse that seems like shut down and then broke. So I'm hoping we see a little more training on that aspect, since this show seems to be evolving more and more into a drama show and less about the horses, which makes me a little sad because the horses are the part I really like. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.